Welcome back to the Football Today podcast on Thursday, the 7th of March, as we look forward to an action-packed weekend of football all across the world. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. We got Marcus here. Marcus Bazzano just got the hiccups before, but I think he's back. He's ready to go.
Yeah,
Hang on,
good,
Marcus.
mate. Hold the breath. I don't drink water backwards like you absolute mug.
Oh, wow. Jeez. Back in the host chair. This is what Alex must feel. Shout out to Alex, just not hosting today. Couldn't be bothered.
He doesn't deserve a shout-out if he ditches the show.
A bad shout-out. Ditch the show. We'll get one up on him on the trivia question, so we're pretty happy about that. Yeah. We're looking forward to an upcoming weekend of A-League and Premier League football. We're going to have a bit of a weird one here, a bit of an evergreen content that we like to call it. Best and worst A-League signings of all time. So some really funny ones in the worst ones that we'll get into. And some great players that have played in the A-League in the past. So there's a big preview of that and the preview of the EPL Matchweek 28. Big call for the weekend, doomsday scenario, all the usuals. So let's get right into it, Marcus. We'll start with. What have you written for today?
Well, I've written this in there for you. Will the A-League ever return to its previous heights?
Oh, as in, crowds.
In terms of crowds, you remember
the players they brought in?
Yeah, like 6, 7, almost a decade
I reckon 10
ago
years
now.
ago, yeah, that's when I was going,
where crowds were chockers.
Yep.
The football was great.
Oh, I'll say yeah, but I still think it's got a fair way to go. It's starting to climb back up a little bit. I think the crowds in some of the bigger teams, obviously, are still there. You've got Western United still trying to build up in both the men's and women's A-League in terms of crowds. Yeah. I'll say yeah, but I still think it's going to be a while off because I think it was probably like 2010 to 2014. I reckon that was the prime A-League where you had Archie Thompson scored for fun, burst up Barisha. Some absolute legends were playing. And I remember going to games at Marvel Stadium, selling out every week.
Correct.
So 50,000, 50 to 60,000. You got the Melbourne Victory at both ends. Even Melbourne City, they had a really good fan base in the derby and things like that.
Brisbane Roar were
massive
back in the day.
Western Sydney Wanderers were just known as this massive club that we'll get into, winning cups all over the world as well. Yep. So I'll say yeah, but I still think it's got a long way to go. Obviously, money was an issue in the past. I think it's starting to get a little bit better because you got some guys coming over from overseas, but I think it's going to be a long way. Yeah. What do you reckon?
I disagree with you.
Ooh.
I don't think it
ever.
Will. The way that it's run at the moment and the people who are in charge, I don't think there's a chance that the A-League will return. I think the second division is a step forward. I think it's a good step forward.
I'm happy we have a second division. Yeah.
So hopefully that'll blood out more bloodline streamed soccer fans.
Yeah, okay,
from the heart. Yeah. I'm not too sure at the moment. I don't think so. Though.
Yeah, well, you still go to Western United games every now and then.
I still go
which
every now
is
and
good.
then. Which is good fun. But
you'll say no. I reckon it could eventually, but it might take a little bit of time. Yeah. So, talking about the previous heights, we're going to have a look at the A-League's men's marquee best and worst signings. So let's go through three each. We've written down a couple here. Let's start with the three best. We'll start positive. I've got to talk about him. I think he's probably the best player that A-League, I reckon, has ever seen. Alessandro Del Piero. Absolute legend, obviously, for Juventus. Came over. Wrote down here 24 goals, 11 assists in just 48 games. Just absolutely dominated. And I think late 30s. Was he even 40 in his second season?
He could have been, yeah.
I'm pretty sure. He was just absolutely awesome. Grew the game in Sydney, So he's got to be the first one off the rank. You reckon as well?
I remember watching like Bondi Rescue as a kid, and he was on Bondi Rescue.
What?
Yeah. They had a penalty shootout on with the lifeguards.
That is an outrageous combo there.
No, he was just a freak, wasn't he? One of the very best to play in the A-League. Although there have been some very good players that have bombed, but another great player was Shinji Ono.
Was
the Western Sydney Wanderers.
Beast. He was an absolute beast.
I still remember that chip he sort of did outside the box, that little dink.
Yep.
But he had 11 goals and 9 assists in 57 games. Won the AFC Champions League with the Wanderers.
Yep.
He was just... That was back when the A-League was peak.
Yeah, that was the Western Sydney Wanderers. They still got a pretty big fan base there. Yeah, obviously showed it on the weekend before they had that walkout last weekend. Yep. They have a huge fan base. Shinji Ono was sort of helped start that. He was dominating that. We're in the AFC Champions League. Have we had an A-League team win that since then? No. I don't think we have. No. So that's the only team in so long to win that AFC Champions League across Asia against all the Asian teams. Yeah,
I think a good comparison of Western Sydney winning the Asian Champions League is like when Porto won the
Champions League. Yeah, that's a good call. No one would have thought
unheard of.
Yeah,
that an Australian team would even probably even make the knockout stages of that tournament, let alone win it.
Usually you've got the J League, which is known as probably the best Asian league, I'd say, and then you've got even some Chinese teams that just have a lot more money. that can dominate in this sort of competition in the AFC Champions League. So that was an awesome effort. Even 11 goals, 9 assists. I don't think it tells the full story of Shinji. He sort of set up a lot of their goals without getting the assist or without getting the goal.
He was a maestro in that midfield, and he ran games. Like he wasn't really a stats guy. Like a goals and assists kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like how Haaland is an incredible striker. But he's not as good as a footballer as Sergio Aguero.
Oh, I thought you were about to say he's not as good as a footballer as Shinji Ono, but that's another argument.
But Shinji Ono was great. But I chucked this one in here. Just there might be
the third one.
Might be a little bit of bias.
Western United. No, you've actually made some good points. So you go away with the third one.
I'm going to go Alessandro Diamanti. As a Western United fan, he was just incredible. Again, he was another guy where stats don't really tell the story. He was some of the passes he was playing and the skills he was doing. It looked like men versus boys. But then he got towards the last couple seasons. He got injured and then couldn't really get on the park that much. But 11 goals, 18 assists, 82 games. He won the Johnny Warren medal. In the championship season.
Yeah, he won in the championship,
Oh, not in the championship season. I think it was the season before because he was injured throughout most of that championship season. But he was the heart of the team. His experience led a title, Western United title, in just their third season in their history.
Yeah, not bad.
And I just want to chuck in here, he was for years wise, I think he was at the club the longest of his career.
Okay.
That's the longest.
The longest at a club. They're not even in Italy or anything like that. Really? Okay.
Yeah. And it was his third highest amount of games at a club.
Okay.
West United played 82.
Yep.
I think there was some other ones in there. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he's still coaching in the A League today. He loves Australia. He loves Melbourne. He's at Melbourne City as an academy coach.
I saw that.
At the moment, but
A League legend. Yeah.
He was. Yeah, superb, different level.
Nah, really. I don't mind giving a bit of love to Western United, your team. So we got to get there. All right, we've had the three best. We've talked them up. They're absolute superstars of the A League. Let's go to the three worst. I've just chucked this one.
There's been a lot of bad ones.
There is a lot of bad ones. This list could go on for a while because there's been some funny signings.
We've chucked in some honourable mentions. Should we say them first?
Yeah, maybe go the honourable mentions. You go them first.
Okay. Well, we've gone David Villa, a pair of Melbourne.
City.
Romario went to Adelaide United, I think.
Yeah.
But Villa, 4 games, 2 goals, and then he dipped.
That really annoyed me. He's one of my favourite players of all time. I used to have the old Barcelona the Aqua kit.
Yes, nice.
I had a David Villa one. And then I was like, he's coming over the A-League. Yeah, got injured, I think as well, didn't he? Or he didn't play much at all.
I think he got injured for a couple of games, and then he's like, geez, this is crap.
I'm
leaving.
He only played 4 games. It was pretty sad. So honourable mention to him.
Honourable mention to him and Romario as well.
Only 4 games as well.
Juninho could even be chucked in this as an honourable mention. Brazilian legends, but he only played 4 games as well. Got a goal. There's players in this list that we're gonna mention that have played more games than these guys, but they just didn't
make an impact on the A-League.
Didn't really make an impact
with
on the
such
A-League.
a big marquee signing.
With the hype that they had. But yeah, Adelaide United, 1 goal. Romario deserves a mention.
Fair call. I got to start this one. He didn't actually end up playing in the first team ever, but Usain Bolt, when everyone's going, oh my God, Usain Bolt, the fastest guy on earth, is going to play in the A-League.
Everyone in the world was talking about him.
Everyone in the world was talking about him. He said he's going to play for Man U one day. That was a joke because I saw him play in a charity match. Literally, he couldn't do much at all. I think a lot of Ange came out and said, this is a bit of a joke. Mate, a few other coaches came out and said, look, he's not at the level. I thought surely it would still work. Just do a chip through ball.
No.
L1 triangle.
He could run onto it, but his first touch was a tackle.
Yeah.
It was that bad.
The fact
he's never gonna.
It was just a whole funny scenario. Couldn't get past the tryouts. Eventually, I read an article just before that it's one of his biggest regrets in his sporting career that he stopped running. He still was decent at running. He wasn't at his world record best, but he still was competing all over the world.
You go from being the fastest man in the world
to the worst footballer.
To one of the worst footballers the A-League's ever seen.
When the A-League
didn't even get to see him.
No, so he didn't even get to see him. I thought originally it was a good idea from the A-League because I would have gone to watch a game.
In terms of,
for tickets and things like that. I would have gone to watch a Central Coast Mariners game just to see Usain Bolt because I think that would be funny just seeing the fastest guy in the world run up on the wing. It didn't work out.
The fact that we had the possibility of seeing him walk onto the ground next to the big tomato sauce and barbecue sauce bottles with the palm trees and the highway in the background would have been
that
amazing.
Combination would have been awesome because I think everyone loves that in the whole world. Even English people post about that Central Coast Mariners ground being right on the beach with the palm trees. Then you got the other side with the big sauce bottles. The master food sauce bottles. So then adding Usain Bolt, that would have been funny, but unfortunately it never happened. And that, I think, is the worst signing from the A-League, because they were going to pay him a lot of money and then it didn't end up happening at all. So that's the first one. That's just a bit of a laugh.
It is. That's a bit of a laugh one, but a bit more serious. These players had a lot of hype, and they're actually both fairly recent marquee signings as well.
Last year or two, yeah.
Yeah. Daniel Sturridge for the Perth Glory is definitely going to be up there. He played 6 matches, but only 138 minutes. And there's 90 minutes in a soccer match.
Yeah.
Played 138 minutes, 6 games, pretty much all substitute appearances.
Yep.
Didn't score a single goal. Had a groin injury that nagged him for the entire season. And I swear he went home back to England for majority of the season. He didn't even do his rehab and stuff here.
It was a bit like he just didn't give a crap about coming over.
Yeah, you got that vibe.
I think if you're a professional soccer player, even if you're not I think I'm better than this standard, or I think I'm better than this, you still got to give 100%. If they're paying you, it's your job. It just seemed a bit bad from him. And he really didn't progress his career after those EPL days, really. He got injured a lot. Yeah. He went overseas. He was decent at Liverpool. Obviously, people would love him at Liverpool. But
played at Chelsea as well.
But since then, A-League just really didn't work for him. So he's number 2. Who you got number 3?
Number 3, I've chucked in Nani.
Recent, that
It might be a bit harsh.
No, I don't. Up to you. Yeah.
It could be a bit harsh. He played 10 games, but then did his ACL and then never played again. And he didn't score a single goal.
No.
He had an assist in his debut.
Yes,
I believe.
Everyone was just talking him up
against Sydney FC away.
Yep.
It was a good low cross, but in terms of impact, he didn't have the impact you'd think he have. He just, every time he took people on, he just couldn't really get past many people.
He's past it. I don't know how old is he?
He's still playing now. He's playing in Turkey. At Adana Demirspor.
Yeah.
He's played 24 games and he scored a few goals. So he's
still okay.
Doing better on his average than
he's 37, Victory.
But to the fact that you did your ACL at that age and then
it makes it tough.
And then left. He'd be up there in one of the worst.
Yeah. So obviously
in terms of hype,
he killed it for Man U. He was in one of the best Man U teams. He was awesome, and then then comes over to Victory and it doesn't do too well. So that's our 3 best and 3 worst marquee signings. Marcus, a bit of A-League chat. I don't mind that looking back at that.
That was good fun. I loved it.
Very good fun.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick break before Leo comes back with the trivia question that we're always nervous about.
Hi, I'm David Kickno. I'm James Clements. I'm the host of the AFL Today Show. And you can join me and a rotating cast of AFL nuffies, lunatics and journos celebrating all things footy in the world's singly greatest one-stop shop for every level of AFL fan. That's right, every game of the 2024 AFL season will be previewed and wrapped for you. Every storyline covered, every big moment broken down, every big hit celebrated. Every Supercoach angle looked at, and every type of credit given to the boys. That's right, with guests from around the AFL world, AFL Today will have you sorted for all things footy. So, 3 times a week, make sure you get your AFL fix with the AFL Today Show.
All right, welcome back to football today. We've covered a lot of the A-League. Now we've got the trivia question as we have every episode. We need this one. Alex is gone, so we can go jump above him.
No, we are. We're half a point ahead.
Half a point ahead, so we can get another lead. So here we go. Leo, what do you got for us today?
All right, boys. It's a bit of a tough one today.
Oh.
Which EPL side has the worst save percentage so far this season?
Oh, that's a good question. Worst save
Stats
percentage.
Stats Guy.
Is what? Not.
They were second worst.
Oh, because they got Turner, isn't he their keeper?
Yeah.
He's missed some.
Matty Turner.
So he's missed some horrible.
That's a good question. Save percentage. I'm just going to go Marcus. I'm going to go. I know they concede a lot of shots, but they also concede a hell of a lot of goals. I'll go Sheffield.
Incorrect.
Save percentage.
I'll let you guys back in if you want.
Oh, thank you. We will. We will. Maybe we have one more crack.
One more crack.
It's got to be. I feel like he's saying it's hard because it's not like one of the bottom teams. It could be like a mid-table. Save percentage. So
don't read too much into it, Stats.
I know.
Burnley. Sheffield.
It's hard because they're very close. Like
yeah.
Are they in the team of the bottom half?
Yeah.
They are a bottom half team.
They are a bottom half team.
Okay. Because I was going to say maybe Newcastle, but
that's not a bad shout. They've conceded a lot of goals.
Yeah.
Stats Guy. I'll just go. It can't be them. Sheffield.
Are you stupid?
I said Sheffield.
Oh, crap, I didn't. I thought you said Burnley for some reason. Oh, no.
Oh,
well, it's not
you just switched to that.
You know what? I'll go Bournemouth.
Incorrect.
Oh, what is it?
Crystal Palace was the answer. 60.4%. Notts was a great shout, though.
Yeah, I thought
shout.
Notts because, my second answer wasn't a good shout. Yeah. No, good question.
Tough question.
That's very annoying that neither of us got it, but that's all right.
Oh, well.
We'll get it next time. Mate. Thank you, Leah.
No, cheers. And maybe listen next time.
Yeah, look, I think I was locked into the question. Oh, that's bad. I bet you I said Sheffield. I couldn't even get that out because that was in the back of my mind. That you said.
Yeah, because they've conceded so many goals.
So many goals, yeah.
Like, they do concede a lot of shots as well. So
yeah. Well, there you go, Crystal Palace. Roy didn't help him. That's what we've already talked about.
No.
All right, let's get into the EPL Matchweek 28 after we just talked a little bit about them in the trivia question. Big call for the weekend, as we always do. Marcus, you start us off.
I'm going to go Kevin De Bruyne to absolutely run the midfield and the game against Liverpool.
Oh, at Anfield
and secure a City win.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm going.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I'm going to go Notts to beat Brighton at the Amex. Every week, I reckon at the Amex, I've tipped Brighton, and they've been so inconsistent. They've been horrible. So I'm just going to, I think Notts haven't been playing too bad. The last month or two, they've actually scored a few goals and surprised me. I didn't think they had the goal scorers. You got Hudson and
They should have got a point against Liverpool.
Should have got a point against Liverpool. They've actually been playing pretty well. So I think Notts can beat Brighton at the Amex. At the start of the season, that could be one of the biggest calls ever. But I think Brighton have just been so inconsistent. So I'm going to go Notts. Don't mind your De Bruyne call because he's going to have an awesome game and he's an absolute freak.
Yep.
Doomsday scenario. What do you got?
Chelsea losing to Newcastle. Our boys, Chelsea. I just think after that Brentford result really felt like a loss.
Yep.
Because I believe if we beat Brentford, then we would have headed into this Newcastle game.
Bit more confidence.
We would have been ahead of Newcastle, and then if we beat Newcastle, we would have been 5 points ahead of Newcastle, and then we could have been 1 point, and then we could have been 1 point behind Manchester United when we play Manchester United.
There's a lot of coulda, but I know what you're saying. Yeah,
there was the potential to go on a roll in last 10 games of the season.
We could win the league. I reckon.
I reckon honestly, we would have played Champions League. I'll be Alex here. We would have won the Champions League in these last 10 games of the Premier League season.
Yeah, bloody hell.
That's as much as a hope of Arsenal have of winning the Champions League. I'm just putting that out there.
It is crazy that Chelsea, Brighton and Newcastle are still around the same mark. When everyone's sort of roasting Chelsea. Newcastle are on 40 points. Chelsea 36 points. Yeah, so
Chelsea have a game in hand as well.
Chelsea have a game in hand, and that's more probably worse than on Newcastle for finishing top 4 last year. Now they could drop just inside that.
I'll still say Chelsea having a worse season.
Of course they are, but in terms of the what people saw Newcastle were going to do over the next couple of years,
the drop off is
bigger
compared to last season was a lot bigger. Yeah, you're correct.
My doomsday: Man U drop points to Everton and lose touch with the top 6. I think Man U obviously
is this at?
It's at Old Trafford, so they should win this. That's why I'm saying doomsday. They're 6 points behind currently of 5th. Tottenham and Villa play, so I think
play each other. So this is actually a good chance for Manchester United to.
If Villa win, if people are expecting Villa to win, then Man U could catch up a little bit to Tottenham. So in that 5th spot and maybe hold on to that 6th spot. So if West Ham win this week as well, they can jump Man U. I just think it's just a big game for Man U to consolidate that European football for this season. Try and get in that top 6, top 5 even. So I don't think they're going to lose, but doomsday scenario, just a classic Man U draw would I wouldn't be surprised against Everton.
They were pretty poor against City.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to see what happens.
They've got to bounce back.
I think they should win, but doomsday they lose or draw to Everton. All right, EPL Matchweek 28, as we talked about. This is probably the second biggest game of the weekend. Villa taking on Spurs, 4th versus 5th. If Villa win this, you could probably lock them in for top 4.
Yep.
So their fans will be so nervous for this one, I think. So they can go up to 58 points and get an 8-point lead on Tottenham if they win this.
Tottenham has that game in hand. So really it's 5 points.
Oh, 5 points. Yes, you're right. But this is such a big game because, that helps them for top 4. Tottenham would really need to win this one just to get back into touch with the top 4.
They need to at least get a point from this.
Yeah, especially at Villa Park, which has been an absolute fortress. Last couple of months hasn't been as much, but who are you predicting in this one, Marcus?
This is really tough. I'm looking at Aston Villa's form, and although they've won 3 on the trot and 4 of the last 5, hasn't been that great, to be honest.
No, it hasn't. No.
I think they could have played a lot better, and they've been pretty fortunate. Tottenham have sort of been a little bit inconsistent. Obviously had that match against Chelsea postponed, which sort of didn't help their case. But honestly, I do believe Andrew's boys can rock up here and get a win.
Okay.
Although it wouldn't be a show without me predicting a draw, so I'm going to go a draw.
I'm
going to go a draw.
We've only got 2 matches to predict.
Had to be done.
You've snuck in a draw.
Oh, it's got to be a draw. But if I had to lean towards the side to win, I'd actually go Tottenham.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't mind the draw pick. I think this is going to be really close. Just because it's at Villa Park, the way Ollie Watkins is playing, I don't think anyone can stop him. I think this could be like a 4-3, 3-2 type of game. There's going to be a lot of goals, especially the way both these teams play.
There's normally a lot of goals at Villa Park as well.
And there's always a lot of goals. They usually score 3 themselves. Spurs average over 2, so it would be really interesting to see how many goals are scored. I'm going to go Villa. It pains me to say that for Ange. I love Ange, but I think Villa are going to cement themselves in that top 4, especially being at home. And Watkins, there's still struggles in Spurs defense. So
what would be a better season? Aston Villa making the Champions League, or Tottenham making the Champions League under Ange in his first season at the club after losing Harry Kane? In terms of,
they're very close. I'd still say Villa because no one expected them to be top 4. Like people would have said Newcastle. A lot of people said Tottenham. A few people said Tottenham. People would have said Man U as well and things like that. Yeah, well, no one would have had Villa in their top 4.
Well, Villa were for the calendar year last
best finishing
year,
team,
second best team, I believe, points accrued behind City.
Yeah, after January, in January and after, wasn't it? Yeah. So I know what you're saying. I still think this is a bigger achievement for Villa because they just haven't had any success like this in such a long time. They're such a big club in the past, even like 20, 30 years ago, they were getting this every year. But this is probably the biggest moment in Villa history in a long time. So I'd say Villa, but if Ange got Spurs there, that's unbelievable.
I remember Chelsea playing Liverpool, and we had Pato and Bertrand Traore.
Yeah.
And then like we playing them and they get like relegated, and
that's right. Yeah.
I just remember no one being at the ground, and that turnaround in 6-7 years is ridiculous.
Just crazy. Yeah. Money helps a little bit as well, but it
does.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
So, Emery has done wonders there.
He has. He failed at Arsenal, but he's killing it at Villa, which everyone's a bit surprised about.
Why he failed at Arsenal? I don't get it.
Nah. Arteta's just done a lot better.
Arteta was shocking in his first few years at Arsenal. There was a run where
he almost got
12
sacked,
games where he won one game and there were like 10 losses in there and a draw, and the losses were to like poor clubs as well.
Yeah.
And he could have easily got sacked during that period, but they held on to him, credit, and he's doing great now.
Yeah, no, good call. I'll go Villa, you'll go on the draw. What a surprise there. Let's get into the biggest game of the weekend, 1 versus 2. This is absolutely massive.
A must-watch.
Could decide the title. Arsenal will be praying for a draw here so they can stay in touch with that top 2.
Yep.
Because if one of these teams win, they could probably decide the title, I'd say. So Liverpool versus Man City. You want to go through some of the stats there for me, Marcus?
Oh yeah, it's a Monday morning, isn't it? Which is kind of crappy sort of time.
Yeah, for Australia.
But Liverpool have lost only one of their last 20 games at Anfield against City.
Really?
So that's
20 games.
That's incredible.
Even the dominance City have had. Yeah.
Yeah, but in saying that, Liverpool have only won one of the last 8 meetings between the two sides.
Jeez.
So there have been a lot of draws in here.
Yeah.
But two of the last 30 have been won by the away side. So you think of that.
Yeah, won by the away side. Okay. So
the home side have been undefeated in 28 of the last 30.
Okay.
Which is just incredible to think about that.
Yep.
But I'm going against that stat here.
Oh.
And I'm going to go City away win against Liverpool.
City away win. I'm going to go Liverpool. I'm going to go against you. I think in Anfield, obviously, as you mentioned, they're just unstoppable there. You got Salah back in there. You got a lot of guys coming back in.
A night game at Anfield on a Sunday their time is like the vibes are just.
I think it's crazy. I think there was a match earlier in the season where Jurgen Klopp wasn't happy with their fans, but I think their fans would be absolutely fired up for this one.
Yeah, 100%.
I still had Liverpool as my title pick because of this game. I think this game could decide it. They just have to win at home. If this was at the Etihad, I'd be picking City. But because this is at Anfield, the stats are with them. And I think
just from personal opinion, I don't think Arsenal win the league yet this season.
No.
I think it is between Liverpool and City.
Yep.
And we look at previous seasons when it was these two in the title race. It was who got results in these head-to-head matches.
Games, that decided it.
That decided the title.
The other thing up with Arsenal, they still are a big chance if this is a draw, and this could easily be a draw. If this is a draw, then Arsenal win, then there's still a massive chance.
I know it might sound a bit contradictory saying I'm worried about Arsenal's goals when Arsenal
they've scored a lot of goals, mate. They've got the most goals in the league at the moment.
68 goals, and they have the most goals in the league.
Yeah.
But I think you're putting your hopes on. It's probably a good thing to have so many goal scorers in your team.
No, I think it's
share it around.
Yeah.
But like, if you need a goal 90th minute, who's that player? Like you look at Liverpool, Mo Salah, Diego Jota, Darwin Núñez, City, Erling Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne. like these sort of players. Whereas Arsenal, Bukayo Saka, but he hasn't had the greatest season in terms of like,
he's still been
play. He's still been
good.
Very good.
Yeah.
But I personally think he was better last season.
Okay.
And I don't think Martinelli has had a good season, and I'm not relying on Kai Havertz to...
Well, I hate to say all of these things, but individually, if you just look at their stats and things like that, not amazing, but collectively, they just share the goals around so much that their stats don't stand out as much. Yeah.
Which I think is like superb.
Yeah.
But in that moment when it's so tight, when it's like could go down to points and then goal difference and like you need a winner, like Liverpool have scored, I think it was 24 goals from the 75th minute beyond.
Yeah. Clutch.
Which is by far the most. And City second. And Arsenal...
Yeah, they scored a lot of early goals. Yeah. I know
so, that's just the reason why I'm swaying towards
that's all right.
Liverpool.
So you're going Man City in this one against Liverpool. You're going Man City for the title as well?
Yeah, I think Man City still to win the title.
Yeah, okay. So if they win this, I think they could. But I'm going to go Liverpool for this and for the title as well. So there we go. I don't think Alex, usually on this show, won't be happy about that one. No. He'll be still rooting for his beloved Arsenal. I think that's it. Covered a whole range there. Marcus, a bit of A-League, bit of EPL. There's some awesome games this week. Check out some other fun clips that we have on our socials and get right around it. Give us a subscribe and all of that. I think that's it. Thank you very much to Leo and Gerald behind the camera. Thank you, Marcus.
Thanks, Stats Guy.
Thanks to me, and that's another episode of Football Today done. We're out.